What's up? What's up? It's your boy Ian Vaughn, the R&B ambassador. Listen, I apologize for the interruption, but I need you guys to help us continue to grow this channel. We're doing such a fantastic job growing, bringing you amazing content from some of our favorite R&B artists and contributors. I need you to do this one little thing: like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe is key. Also, hit the notification bell. This will help us to continue to bring more and more fantastic artists to the platform. So with that said, this is a continuing conversation. Can we talk R&B? Now back to the show.
Yeah. Everyone starts with influence, whether you admit it or not, yeah, I mean, look at Justin Timberlake. He wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for me. No, I'm just playing. I'm
You know what?
I'm sorry, but that new single though is trash, and I'm not feeling his music at all anymore. And the video is even more trash.
Come on.
I don't really like that shit. I don't like all this demonic shit, yo. Like you would sell your soul to be popular or something, or to give your allegiance to some hidden powers behind the scenes. Listen, we making R&B music over here. Yes. Love music, yo. And I stand in the face of fear and hatred and anger and sadness like an angel of light looking at you. I see you.
Come on.
I see you watching.
Come on.
Can we talk? Oh, can we talk? Can we talk? R&B.
What's up? What's up? It's your boy Ian Vaughn from the Can We Talk R&B podcast, and thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. We have one of my all-time favorite artists, producers, songwriters, just legendary contributors to R&B music, definitely of the last 30 years, which is, man, you just reminded me, it's 30 years. Man.
yeah, absolutely. It's been that long.
Man, we have multi-platinum singer-songwriter, none other than Mr. Jon B.
Good to be with you, brother. Thank you for having me, man.
Man, thank you for coming out, man.
Absolutely.
Look, I have to ask the same question I ask everybody. Can we talk R&B?
Yes, let's go. Can we talk?
Come on.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, R&B, baby.
Speaking of that, I didn't think about that connection, I guess, of Can We Talk.
That's the first thing I thought when I heard the Can We Talk.
Well,
and I was like, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah, for sure. No doubt, man.
Bless, man.
You are, let's just take it back. I mean, obviously, us R&B fans, I posted, as a matter of fact, maybe a month or two ago, I've been in a continuous conversation about some of the best R&B songs of a generation.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? And we're going to dive into that. And I posted, I literally posted this on social media. You shared it on your page. And I'm like, yo, like, they don't know, honestly, it's probably top 10 best R&B songs.
Oh, my God. Thank you.
You know what I mean? Of the last so many years. Like, we can't think, I still, to this day, I can't think of, like, specifically the timeline when that came out.
Yeah.
And we're going to dive into that a little bit later.
96.
96. So I can't think of too many songs better.
Oh,
Not saying just as good, you know what I mean? But like
thank
better.
you so much, man.
But we'll dive into that.
Flowers, for real. Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Let's just take it back, man. So you're from Pasadena, California.
Yeah.
Tell us, like, what made you fall into R&B?
Well, Pasadena is very diverse. I mean, but even beyond that, like growing up with grandparents who owned a record store, I had every record that ever came out, at my disposal. So I wasn't separated by categories or racial identity. You know what I mean? Like that, it was people's faces on covers making music.
That's
and
right.
It was white people, it was black people, it was Asia, it was everything.
That's
so
right.
it was like, I never really separated music by race, like in terms of like how I grew up. My parents never made me cognitive of it. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't until like middle school that like you started seeing the way the cliques were at school and how the different races were separate all of a sudden, and that what style of music they were listening to. Yeah. It was R&B over here, it was rock over here, it was salsa over here. It was, you know what I mean? It was a lot to experience growing up. The diversity of that was a lot of different choices, and I chose it all. I just was loving it all. And it was because I think I had classically trained parents that were teachers of music and sort of just like being like an athletic family if we were an athletic family.
Absolutely.
And I had coaches for parents, like they were just as serious about the music. So everyone was gonna learn an instrument and then, you know. So music for me was very much like that was my sport.
Yeah.
You know, that was my sport. I was playing the keyboard, playing the drums, singing, trying to form groups when I could, when I found somebody else who wanted to harmonize with me, you know what I mean? If we got it on like that, we were, you know, and so, so that was my humble beginnings.
So in terms of like for R&B music though, like specifically, I know I'm a church kid, so I grew up. I grew up with those chops. Like, you know, we had a similar pedigree in terms of like
that's
musicians,
the chops, man.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like R&B though. I was always pulled from a gospel standpoint. I was listening to the Clark sisters, the Winans, Commission.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
That wasn't until high school though,
Gotcha.
because I got into gospel choir in high school.
Gotcha.
And I'm so grateful for those years being coached by. So I went to school with Perez Blackman. He's a gospel singer of today right now. I went to school with him.
Nice.
You know, so watching him sing and solo and all that, and then all right, Buck, it's your turn. You know, and and I'll be like, oh God, no, not me. And then when I started first singing, you know, I was singing like with an R&B style. That's right. Like very laid back, and they're like, not up in here, not up in the gospel choir.
That's right.
You better not sing that Ralph Tresvant like Babyface stuff up in here. Like we need you to sing from the chest. Like you know, you better project. And so
diaphragm.
Yeah, from the diaphragm, right? Yeah. So that's where I learned how to sing like that in terms of projecting my voice and really not holding back. And also, I think it was a challenge to kind of be up in front of people, like, and really know, like, watch them kind of make, you know, the faces like, did he hit that note? He didn't hit that note, you know, and that trial through fire and through, you know, ridicule.
That is what we do.
That
right?
is what, yeah.
As musicians, you know, you're always looking like,
well, yeah, but I mean, in high school, in gospel choir, you know, you could really see their faces go. Yeah. So we were really embarrassed.
That's right.
And, you know, I remember plenty of times that I wasn't embarrassed and I was feeling like a knight in shining armor up there. Yeah. Like, all right, I got this, you know. And because when you get it right, you know. And then everyone's like, oh, my gosh, I had tears in my eyes, you know. So, but singing, you know, in a spiritual way, in that sense of singing gospel music, where you're singing how grateful you are. Yes. That sense of that's a spiritual thing. So that connect so level. That's a deeper level. And it's kind of the root to it all, isn't it? I mean, whether you feel what you're doing or not is really, I think, really that's a good way to learn.
That's right.
How to feel it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm grateful for those years, the gospel beginnings.
For sure.
Yeah.
So tell me this. All right. At that time, high school, I remember, so when I first heard Jon B, I was in high school, and I heard Pretty Girl.
You could say you. It's all right. You don't say Jon B.
Come on. No,
I'm here. Right?
Well, before you say it, I'm taking it back to when I'm
because I'm like, wait, who? Oh yeah.
No, so I'm taking it back to when I was in high school. I didn't know much about the music business. All I knew was this record. Mm-hmm. Pretty Girl comes on. Hey, pretty girl. And I'm like, so I used to sing this to the girls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like in ninth grade.
Oh, man, that's what's up.
I would walk up to the girls, and that's just what we did. You know what I'm saying? We just talking.
Your lips.
You know, like, yeah.
Your smile.
Come on. Yeah.
That's a good thing to say to a lady. Even just, you know.
Oh, come on.
She would bug out. If you said your lips.
It worked every time.
Your smile. Oh, my God. And she would just be like, really? Like, you know, I guarantee it. Try it.
Yeah.
Fellas, try it.
Chivalry.
Or, you know, or she might look at you like, depending on how you say it, you know. But, I mean, I just feel like being honest is good. I can't take the credit for that. I'm not going to give the credit either on that one.
I understand. I heard you loud and clear.
Yeah, I've been talking about it for years. People should know who wrote what and produced what and this and that. So, yeah, no, that was a great record, though. Great time.
But that was like, again, ninth grade. That's just like my experience of hearing that record. And I'm singing that song to girls and getting those responses, right? So then I'm like, originally I thought it was Babyface, who I honestly, when I first heard it on the radio. And then next thing you know, I'm like, no, this is you know, we're hearing, it's Jon B. This is new artist, Jon B. So amazing. So I brought that up to say, when you were in high school, you're tapped in, you're an R&B lover.
Yeah.
What was that song that you would sing to, either whether you were rehearsing at home or you're singing to the young ladies, whatever it was to help you build your chops, gain that confidence?
Can You Stand the Rain by New Edition.
Come on.
And also Piece of My Love by Guy was a big hit in high school. I'm actually singing at my high school tomorrow.
What?
I'm going back to Jon B, Pasadena. I'm going to do a little private show
on.
for them. So it's really kind of cool that you asked that question, because I remember being in the music hall where we would practice the band and all that, and they had a piano in there. So that was where I'd be every lunch.
Yeah.
And it kind of got to be this little hang where all the flyest girls in the school came at lunchtime and wanted to just stand at the piano and just listen to me sing, and my boys who wanted to harmonize with me sing, and we were the R&B crowd.
That's right.
And guess what song came out that same year?
What song is that?
I Get Around by Tupac.
Come on.
So the first time hearing his voice is freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
That'll show you how far I go back to being a fan, and
Absolutely.
how much a part of my life that his voice was, as far as him as a rapper.
Yes.
That was my first time hearing him. So
Wow.
Humpty Dance had on Digital Underground had that on the B side of the cassette.
That's right.
That's what we
right.
used to rock every lunch.
That's right.
No, I mean, R&B was just always my muso. Hip hop was always my muso. It was just my thing. I paid attention to what shoes we were wearing, what's the style, what's the vibe, and I'm trying to stay up with it, but at the same time have my own flex, because I loved rock as well. I loved rock and roll. I loved new wave. I loved techno and house music. So it wasn't no leaving me out.
Right.
I was including myself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a matter of asking people's permission. It was like showing up like that.
Yeah.
Sounding like that.
So what led you to, like, from going from that, you getting this confidence from being, stepping into your own swag, you're singing, you're making your music, now people are enjoying it, right? Naturally. What led you to say, okay, I want to make this my career?
Well, I knew that that's what I wanted to do since I was 9 years old, and collecting my first keyboard, you know what I mean, and saying, okay, maybe if I sell this one and I get something a little bit more advanced, I don't need this Casio little guy no more. That's the auto accompaniment, because I know how to accompany myself now.
Right.
So, there's $100 or maybe it's $50 or whatever. You take some money, from your birthday money or whatever, and you save up, and you, next thing you know, you're buying like a much more advanced gear that, a drum machine or what have you, So those were the humble beginnings of acquiring the gear to be able to make the music. But I was always having in my head, how'd they get that sound? I wonder what that drum is that they use to make that beat. What's the keyboard that they use to make those chords with? Gosh, how did he make his voice sound like that? And I'm trying to reverse engineer it in my head as a young man. So just give me 4 tracks and I could make it happen, So I was demoing all the demos that everyone wanted to do in my area at that age, at probably, I would say 14. Full on demos. Like,
come on.
We had a little Tascam 8-track.
I remember that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's all I needed.
Yeah.
I was producing full on R&B and hip hop, and just like my whole area was, taking their tapes and going shopping. So, sooner or later, someone was asking, like, who did those demos? Who? I remember one of the first people in the music industry I ran into was Chucky Booker. And Steve Russell was another guy from Pasadena. And Chucky's actually from Pasadena as well. Yeah. And they heard it. They heard my demos and stuff, and the group I was working on at the time, this R&B group. And he said, who produced this stuff? And I said, I did, and I came to the studio to kind of just build with him one day in Hollywood. Yeah. We were sitting in the parking lot. He's like, man, you made that beat? I said, yeah, I have an EPS, At the time, it was just an EPS. I didn't even have the ASR-10 yet.
Come on.
That was before the ASR-10.
Yeah. I
had the ASR-10 the next year after that. But
gotcha.
That's what Kanye used.
Yeah, I know exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I came up on that same gear. That's all my first album, Bonafide, is an ASR-10.
Wow.
I produced that. It wasn't even MPC 60 yet.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't MPC until, like, I want to say halfway through that first album.
Yeah,
that
around 95, 96, something like that.
Yeah,
That was
so
in that drop.
95 was my first album.
That's
so
right.
95 was halfway through that album is when I could get my hands on one.
Yeah.
And it was Babyface actually had it.
Nice.
And he gave me his old MP, and I was able to take that home and start producing with that and programming.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of like the next album.
That's fantastic. But getting to that, what led you to Babyface? Like, how did you even get to the point to where you got
Shopping deals and all around, like, just going around and taking my tapes and my cassettes. Like I said, I was playing it for different people.
right?
And I'd get, people's opinion, and they'd say, wow, you produced that? And I'd say, yeah, and say, who sang it? Me too, So you trying to be an artist? Not really, man, just if you like the music, we can see what we can, who can I produce,
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I met Babyface and Tracy Edmonds
Yep.
that, they had their company at the time.
Edmonds Entertainment.
Yeah, Yabium was the name of the
Yabium.
company
That's right.
in the beginning.
That's right.
And I thought, what a great place to be. It was a one-stop shop in terms of like his production, his expertise, and at the same time to be able to collaborate with all of the people that were around in that scene.
Yeah.
Everyone that he was working with was essentially who I was trying to get to.
That's right.
Tony Braxton,
Yes.
TLC.
Yes.
New Edition. And I got a chance to work with all of those people early on and produce records for all those people.
Nice, nice.
That was a really good thing.
No, for sure.
Because that was more or less where I was geared towards, was producing.
Yeah.
When he said, you should be an artist too, because that'll help move your music along. Like,
Yeah.
just be another tool for your production. I
Sure.
said, okay, I feel you, but I wasn't getting into the music industry to be an artist.
Well, I'm so glad that you did, because you help inspire a generation of fantastic artists.
You.
The people, same way that guys like Babyface and guys like of the eras before,
Yeah.
inspired you.
Thank you so much,
You did the
man.
exact same thing. Definitely for guys
It's
like
a blessing, man. I mean, I just love to do music,
Yeah.
So it's like I know that's gonna relate just on that root level
For
of
sure.
Other guys who have the calling too,
No doubt.
So if we could just continue to take it seriously,
Yeah.
and I think it, staying up with the Joneses and being, the first man on top, that's a different game to play.
Yeah.
And I ain't trying to play that game, man.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? That's a game that, as a young man, I might have thought was something I might want to do.
Right.
But as a grown man now, I know staying in my lane and doing what I'm called to do on this planet is much more important than any sort of status or status quo or any sort of like accolade that could give me, or medal, or any sort of like, oh, you're number one, you're the king, whatever.
Right.
I'm not looking for that.
That's right.
I just want to continue to do what I love.
I love that. No, I love that. So in terms of what led to, okay, we talk about the Bonafide album. There's a lot of success with that album. And then I noticed, and I know the public noticed, there was a change from the Bonafide album to the Cool Relax album. And Cool Relax album, I'm telling you right now,
We just got Cool Relax with it. That's all
Listen,
that happened.
Cool Relax
We just
is-
let everybody know. Listen, I didn't come for the pop stuff, man.
Yeah,
like as
dude.
much as they want to make me that, nah, this is about real R&B.
Yeah.
And not that the first album wasn't real R&B.
right.
I just felt like we got into they felt how eclectic I was on my first album.
Sure.
Not only Tracy Edmonds and Babyface, but Epic
Sure.
Records, they felt me as like a world artist.
Mm-hmm.
So on my first album, I toured Southeast Asia, everywhere. I had a #1 record in Kuala Lumpur and Singapore and Spain and all this stuff. I went to Spain and Europe, all of that, all around for a full-on European tour. My first time ever being in the music industry, first album.
World tour.
World tour.
Wow.
And first singles Grammy nominated, Bad Boys soundtrack. We're booming at this point,
Yeah.
and I don't even know it. I don't even
Right.
know what booming is. I just
Right.
know I'm just like, oh, top 5, okay, cool. Maybe we'll get a #1. I don't know, but I don't. That wasn't my goal. So it was more or less, oh, those pictures look dope. Like I'm just reacting to like all of this brand new energy that I'm feeling on my first album. When you get through that first one, you kind of make mistakes, and you see yourself in a way you might not want to see yourself. In this case, they had my hair all blown out, like, you know, like just straightened with the hair blower, just like straight down in my face, and like no style. And I'm just like, I'm not rocking my hair like that. I thought you were just blowing it so that we could do something with it. Like, what do you mean? Now, I want it like that. Tracy's like, I want it like that. They're like, you know, I want it like that. I'm like, bro, like this is
not my swag.
This is like, oh my God. Like, this is how I'm gonna look to the world. So when you see the Pretty Girl video and you see my hair on, just know I was just inside, just like, no. That's why you see on the second album I'm just tapered, like I gotta fade, like, cause that's me, and that's always been me. And they try to make me something I wasn't, you know, and that's okay.
Sure, that's the part
because that was fun too.
Yeah.
You know, but you learn what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
By doing it. And then figuring it out, like, all right, no, I'm going to flip it like this.
Where I'm from in Louisiana, we got a lot of Creole guys that they're racially ambiguous.
You know? My Creole,
Yeah, they're racially ambiguous. And so they, you know, look just like you.
To me, though.
Yeah, they look just like you. Same haircut.
I'll be like, yeah, sure.
No, you come to New Orleans.
I'm a bunch of different races, man. But you know, I don't like talking about race and stuff like that, because that takes away the mystery of like me just being your brother from another mother.
Of course,
right?
of course.
Let's keep it like that.
No question. But it's a factor. And in terms of like being from like where I'm from, I literally have great friends. You don't know what race they are.
Yeah, man.
You know, but when you came out as an R&B artist, killing. Everybody wanted to be, I'm like Jon B. I knew Buku, like Buku guy. You ever say Buku?
Respect. No. I have a brother in every state. Like I go places. I'm, man, my best friend or blah blah blah. We call him Jon. You know, and the whole funny thing was when I would go to barbers in different states and stuff like that, because I needed a haircut.
That's right.
They'd be like, man, they asked for the Jon B, and I'm like, for real, bro, like that. You know, he's like, man, you're famous out here, man. I'm like, for what? I'm like, for my hair, for my beard or something like that. He's like, no. That's what we call the white boys who come in there and get their hair cut like you. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, okay. That's what's up. You giving the Jon B.
We all
beautiful, man.
We all had a haircut like that. Come on.
But you know where I saw that was my sister moved to New York at a very young age. She you know, we grew up here in Pasadena. Yeah. But she took the GED when she was 16, and she moved to New York off of scholarship to Juilliard. So wow. She was out there, and my parents were like, go see your sister, you know, when you can, as much as you can. In the summertime, I would go out there, and every summer from 13 on, I was out in New York City just visiting my sister and just vibing with her for a cool, like, 2 weeks or so, 2 or 3 weeks. And that whole experience of being out there and taking in their fashion, their culture, their whole vibe, and then coming home to L.A., was a different kind of way to grow up, because I was very, very exposed to a lot of different fashion styles and different ways of grooming yourself and everything that, you know, I was just like, okay, I was peeping game and taking some of that home with me.
Absolutely.
And so before, you know, a lot of the things kind of made it out to the West Coast, I was already up on game, rocking my Timbos and my, you know, and my fade with my, you know, my taper and all that, and the Caesar cut and all that early on. So, but I was seeing the Puerto Ricans and all that out there. You know, everybody was rocking that style on the East Coast in terms of back in 93, 92, and all those, you know, those years like that, you know. So that was the first time seeing that stuff, and then coming back and getting my haircut done. Yeah. And being like, I want it like that, you know what I mean? So,
but during that album, so Cool Relax, that's a quintessential time in my life in R&B, right? So we think about the mid to late 90s. This is, to me, if we're talking about, like, we talk about music being a sport, this is like Kobe, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Penny Hart, in terms of Jon B, Joe, R. Kelly.
Wow. What a time.
Donnell Jones, all the incredible R&B contributions that came out during that time.
Say it, man. That's it.
Yeah, so being that you drop Cool Relax, and it's probably, again, it's in that top 5, top 10 best R&B albums during that timeline.
Thank you, man.
It really is. So it being R&B being so competitive at that time, like, tell me what that was like during that time, like going on that run.
I don't know. For me, it was more of I just felt the love because I was with K-ci and Jojo.
Come on.
Tough, and
Yeah.
we got in right away. They came in on my second album and started saying, I'm a huge Jodeci fan. You know what I mean? So just getting in to meet Jojo and K-ci, you know, and just to be able to meet the guys at Devontae, you know, and everybody. Me and Devontae chopped it up and, you know, produced together, and I was able to see, you know, his studio and be able to like work with him and with his sounds and all his incredible equipment and stuff like that. That was, as a fan, that's as close as you can get to being in their world.
Yes.
And because I was able to come over to their world, I was like, man, do you think you guys could come to the studio and sing some backgrounds on my stuff? And they were like, absolutely. And they came through and they sang on 2 songs on my second album, Cool Relax. Pride and Joy. They sang the backgrounds on Pride and Joy.
I did not know that.
And they also sang the backgrounds on Can We Get Down.
Can we get down?
Hey,
Come
you
on.
you're a real fan.
Oh,
all right, man,
bro.
that's what's up, man.
I know your catalog, bro.
Hey, thank you, bro.
No, I'm not. This ain't no
that
cat.
makes that's what's up.
Look, when I'm messaging you,
hey, if you say you know one song, I'm appreciative, man. You know what I mean? So like, yeah.
Look, your first 4 albums are still in heavy rotation.
Respect, man.
I'm not capping. I'm telling
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
I didn't realize
man.
they were singing on
Yeah,
background
they sang on that, and I went on tour with them, and so you know, getting to be on the road with them was a totally different experience, totally dope experience.
Sure.
Just really get to really feel that sense of like, all right, I guess I belonged in this R&B thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they were celebrating me, and then we were celebrating K-ci and Jojo. And they would always call me up on stage and be, this is our brother from another mother, Jon B. You know, we love Jon B. And man, also it was kind of like, you know, going off of the whole wave of the Tupac Are You Still Down song. You know what I mean? And that whole song being such a success.
Absolutely.
Along with They Don't Know, you know.
We're gonna get into They Don't Know.
All of that, but you know, that was a beautiful time. That whole, you know, Jodeci kind of era of working with K-ci and Jojo off and on, and then I remember, you know, that was the same album I collaborated with Tupac on.
That's right.
You know,
That's right. Well, you brought up Are You Still Down? How'd that happen? Like how'd that come to be?
Kind of the same way as the K-ci and Jojo thing happened. It was actually I had met them first.
Okay.
And then so when I had got the call that Tupac was shooting How Do You Want It, his video.
Yeah.
From my boy Bezo, who knows everybody in the industry, kind of like this, just been somebody that I've known for many years.
Sure.
In the game, and he knew Tupac, so a mutual friend of both of ours. He puts us on the phone, and he's just like, hey, Pac was like, man, I'm a fan, man. And I was just like, really?
Come on.
I was like, I'm a fan of you, man. What do you mean? He's like, man, get on down here. Come to my video, bro. All right, cool. I'm on my way. So I shoot down to the video shoot, and K-ci and Jojo are there.
Yeah.
And Johnny J, the producer of the beat for Are You Still There, was
yeah.
there with his wife and oh my gosh, and Sway and Tech. And I walk in, there's Tupac, and I have my beats, so I'm playing my beats, and everything really went really smoothly. It just was like, he was just so cool.
Yeah.
You know, he was so cool, so down to earth, and kind of like, you good, man? You need something to drink? You need some smoke? Whatever. You know, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm good now.
Yeah.
Let's just vibe on some music. So I'm playing some music, and you know, we had everybody else's attention. Everyone was vibing on us. They're like, man, y'all need to get that in the studio as soon as possible. So that was the whole gist. Was after I left there was waiting a couple weeks and then getting a hit. Like, hey, let's make that happen.
Man.
I don't know if it was him hitting me or me hitting him, but I was like, let's make this happen. I got the number. Now let's turn that into a real collaboration. So I showed up to the studio with all, you know, the gear and all that I rented for the day. Yeah. All being set up for the day, you know, and ready for me to produce the track. And Tupac's there, and his car is outside, and he has my Bonafide CD in the car in the front seat. So I was just like, I walk in. That was a nice way to walk in, because he did say he was a fan, but I didn't know if he really knew the music other than just a single or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, that was super dope to walk into that, you know, and say, oh man, okay, he knows what's up. Let me go in here. Yeah. kind of made me feel like a little bit more up on my toes. But
Absolutely.
you're walking through like literally metal detectors, like at the airport, to get into a recording studio.
What studio was that?
This is called Can-Am.
I remember that studio.
Can-Am Studios in Van Nuys,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's right in the valley. That's
So
right.
yeah, so I go in and Pac's there and we just chop it up and we just have a good time, man, talking about what we want to write about and this and that. But I was like, you got anything that you want to play me that might just I just want to hear what you have, you know, because your tracks, all your tracks are fire.
What's up? What's up? It's your boy Ian Vaughn from the Can We Talk R&B podcast. Listen, a lot of people ask me how they can support the show. One way is we have merch now, okay? So they have the t-shirts, have the logo on the front. On the back of the shirt, it says, what's your favorite R&B song? What better way to start a conversation than that? Listen, click the link right here. This is how you can support. A portion of the proceeds goes towards a program or initiative that I do every year where I get sneakers and other school supplies for children that are part of any creative art program. So I do appreciate the support. I'm sure the kids will too. God bless.
So he plays me Johnny J's Are You Still Down? Well, at the time, the track had I didn't know that the track had even existed or whatever. So somebody had just made me aware of this, but so now it's kind of makes me want to change my story in terms of like thinking of the track, because when I heard the track, it was almost like I heard it before, but I had never heard it before.
Gotcha.
But it was so familiar to me. It made me feel like a Marvin Gaye song or something that was so familiar to me.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to record that right now.
Yeah.
So, but I was just made aware that actually Tupac had recorded another idea with that track before we even recorded Are You Still Down? And I guess he called it Tongue Kissing. So some fan made me aware of this very recently. And I was like, that's kind of cool to know that. But at the same time, I thought my song was the first. But you know, that's all right. Yeah. But you know, we did our thing with that track, and we were talking about how you want to write this, and he was just like, man, where you at right now? And I was just like, I'm kind of getting over my ex, you know. He's like, all right, well then you want to say, are you still down? You know, what's up? You know, let's get back at her, you know. And I'm like, all right, cool, that's what's up. And started writing, and you know, the melodies start coming, and that's what came first for me was
That's right. Yeah.
And he's like, girl, he's putting the lyrics to my words,
wow,
you know what I'm
nice,
saying? And then
nice.
when I veer off, when I did something that he liked, he's like, photographic memory, boom, stamped it, right? That's the hook, is the melody of Are You Still Down? Girl, it's alright. But every time I changed it up and went somewhere else with it, like I was like, girl, it's alright, baby. No.
Right
it
there.
goes, girl, it's alright, baby.
Nice.
So he really produced me in that way on that song.
That's amazing.
Even vocally, like he would sing it to me and say, all right, sing it like this. And, you know, it's Pac, like his voice
Pac.
was a rapper voice,
That's
so
right.
it was like
Yeah,
more
yeah.
like, girl, it's all right, baby.
Yeah.
You know? See, you're like, all right, cool, I'll sing just like that. But then if you kind of got off in your way and just sang the song, and you weren't really connected to it, he'd stop you.
Because he knows.
He'd be like, all right, man, hold on. Hey, man, he'd like stop somebody in the room from moving around. Hey, man, you know who's up in there right now? That's Jon B up in there, man. Hold tight. Just sit down. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah.
And
You mess up the vibe.
everything was so serious in terms of like when he got into his work
Sure.
mode. He's like, all right, man, I want you to sing that shit like you mean it, man. Like put your all in that shit. Don't hold back.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. Run that back. And then boom, what you hear is me being pushed to sing like that in terms of like, you know, don't just sing me a little ad lib. That's why I'm like, ooh.
No, I love that. I love to hear that because obviously I was
Give you the James Ingram who.
Yeah, I'm like I was a huge Pac fan, still am to this day. You know, rest in peace to the king. And to know that he was so multifaceted as a rapper, as an artist, across the board as an actor, and to know he produced vocals in that regard, like understanding just the feeling that was required.
Oh yeah, he did. He was a huge fan of R&B and all music, really.
For sure. Yeah. That's crazy, man. Man, that's fantastic. But that's another song that made that album the classic that it is.
Oh man.
So let's go. Let's move past. There's a we talk about that album again. One of my favorite songs on the album, it's not even a single, is Shine.
Oh wow, thank you.
You know what I mean? Like, so I'm a
Shine is one of my favorites too.
Man.
I love that vibe on that. I gotta give that. You know, I always love to give flowers to the people who inspired me to make tracks.
For sure.
Because it kind of shows you the lineage of the track, like and
Yeah.
how something got thought of.
That's right.
So I want to give props to Tim Kelly and Tim and Bob
Big shout out to Tim Kelly.
for doing 112.
Come on.
And at the time, they were making a lot of records I was paying attention to at the
Yes.
time.
Yes.
One of them was the song "Come See Me." Baby,
Man.
you can come see me, and I need you here with me.
Yeah.
And I'll show you what love means. That's
Bruh, cold.
that is
Cold.
such a dope record, and the groove of that record and the vibe of that record made me want to make Shine.
Come
and
on, man.
I always tell Tim that. I always tell those guys that, and Slim and everything when I run in.
We had Slim on the show.
Slim.
I'm listening.
He got one of the dopest voices too,
Come
like
on,
most
man.
original kind of sounding voices for R&B.
Absolutely.
It even influenced me in that aspect of the texture of his voice.
Yeah.
Because it was very similar to a Babyface sound in terms of like the tonality.
That's right.
So yeah, so it was kind of like, and that's why I love JoJo so much from Jodeci.
Jodeci, no
you know,
doubt.
it's a very similar tonality.
No doubt.
We're kind of brothers from the same.
Man, I'm y'all cousin.
Yeah, we're all in the same family
y'all
together.
cousin,
You know what I
listen,
mean?
yeah.
For real, like that's what happens when you listen to each other so
Yeah.
much.
Man, but that record, that road to
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
That's actually one of my favorite sounds, man.
Yeah.
Is the Rhodes and the hollow body guitar, the jazz guitar.
Yeah.
If I have a sound like that on the keyboard, it's very similar to a Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot of treble in that sound. It's like very like bubbly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so I can really kind of finesse that sound. And I think I've built a lot of my records
100%.
with that sound. Yeah, it's the foundation.
100%. So let's just go down. We're going to switch gears a little bit, and we'll do a deep dive because I really enjoyed that Already Down story. We're going to do a deep dive of They Don't Know.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
yeah.
They Don't Know, I'm aware. I know Tim Kelly or Tim and Bob was a part of that one as well, right?
Oh yeah, they did the track. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Produced the track.
I play this song.
What an amazing
man.
track. That's
Come on, man.
To this day.
I play that song, and the guitar lick still has me in a chokehold.
The guitar lick
Today.
is okay. So you heard the new Robin Thicke song? It's,
His newest single, I have not.
Yeah, it's the They Don't Know guitar lick.
Come on.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say it right now on this podcast. Like, listen to it. It has that bang, ding, 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 bang. It's somewhere. Look, it may not be exactly the same thing.
It's a
but
derivative.
Robin, it's in there. It goes bang, ding, ding, ding. Right? You know, bro. You know, cause you love that song, don't you? All right, yeah, you do. I love your song too. Your songs.
I love that.
But it went bing, didn't it? It went bing, ding, ding.
Come on.
Let me talk my shit. No, but no, it does get sampled every year.
Sure.
You know, by someone. Last year was Gunna and Chloe Bailey.
That's right.
They put that Ratchet record out that I couldn't stand.
Oh man.
And I wish they never did.
Man.
And actually never got my rights to do that record either. So we gotta holler about that.
That's a business to take care of.
That's some business shit we gotta handle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know what? It's all a compliment to what we did.
Sure.
That's Tim and Bob compliment. That's
No
me
doubt.
compliment. But at the same time, my lane is my lane, and my area is my area, and I earned that.
No doubt.
Just like if you made a hit in your area, and you know you do your song, whatever it is, I'm not gonna just come into your area, take your joint, and make it mine, and then I pay you or whatever. So, you know, that being said,
right.
you know.
That's your
But I've been
creation.
very, very humble about my whole approach to this whole music industry thing.
Yeah.
Because if I wanted to be rah-rah and come out and say a lot of different things, I could be Cat Williams right now.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't want to be thought of as a guy who's disenfranchised or sort of like, complacent in any way.
Sure.
I'm very blessed.
Absolutely.
And I'm on top. I'm up.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
And so it's
But but being the contributor that you've been, legendary. We think about songs like that. Again, that raised generations. So it is a tribute, I guess, for them to do that. But you got to take care of the business.
Yeah, you do. But I said all that to say, not to really, really make the emphasis about, I didn't get my flowers or whatever.
Yeah.
I did get my flowers,
For
but in
sure.
a different way.
Yeah.
And it's much more beautiful to receive the love that continues to keep me, gigging in every state.
Yes.
I'm going to London next week,
Yes.
whatever, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
All over Europe, you know what I mean? Just the dream is real for
Yeah.
me. It's not a dream anymore.
That's right.
It's a
life.
reality.
That's
So
right.
it's no need to sort of say, well, this person's dream is bigger and better or whatever, or what about comparing yourself to anybody else? It's like, live your dream, be in the dream, live the
Right.
dream, and appreciate what you've been able to see so far, because it's definitely been the ride of my life.
Yeah.
It has. And haven't taken it for granted.
But what inspired you like to write that song? So when I think about They Don't Know, to me, it's just to the point. Every guy listens to that song and say, man, I've been there. I feel like you're talking to your girl, you're going through this particular thing. Like, man, stop worrying about what they said. Like,
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
what-
I mean,
how we showing up?
hearsay is real, so I feel like anybody can relate to that, you know. But at the same time, for me, it was a lot more. It was sort of like there was a deeper meaning to that record, which was sort of like, I was so tired of people telling me what to do, what to think, what to say, or you shouldn't say that, or don't say too much, or whatever, or just don't be yourself, be like this.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, don't listen to what people say. That
That's
was like
right.
how it led my spirit to say,
Wow.
like, I know the A&R is supposed to be telling me how I'm supposed to sound. I know that producers are gonna tell me whatever. Why don't you sound like a little bit more like Babyface on this song? Whatever. I don't want to on this song. It's not gonna be that kind of a record. It's gonna be me.
That's right.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna write these lyrics, and it's sort of like very articulate the way I wrote that record, because it's very much like, okay, you heard about my past, the things I used to do,
That's right.
the games I used to play, the girls that didn't last. All right, I know what's on your mind. You think I'm doing wrong, and it's very, very much like I'm speaking to you
That's
there,
right.
just intimate. And when you pull all the extras away, all the bells and whistles away, it's really just me speaking to you
Yeah.
as I would in real life. And I think that a real great song is like that. You could
connect
just
like that.
you can connect to it like that and be
Yeah.
like, oh, that's why so many people related to it,
Yeah, I think that's what makes that song special. I want to say I heard, was it Stevie? And I think I've heard Babyface on the interview say the formula to those type of hits is simple and catchy.
Yeah, he always told me, just be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. And that song is honest, and that song is fantastic. So let's move on. I'm gonna ask you a few questions. First of all, who are you listening to right now? Are you listening to any R&B music
Yeah,
right now?
absolutely. Well, I mean, it's like funny because whenever anybody asks me this, I always freeze up and I always think about like, who do I want to mention right now? I really love Alex Isley as a new
man.
artist coming
She's
up.
amazing.
Her voice,
Yes.
she's on my album.
Oh wow.
Speaking about her, because she blessed me with this situation of being able to collaborate with her, not only
Yes.
being a fan of her voice, but let's get in the
She
in the
is
studio and collab. So she pulled up on me in the house in my studio, man, and just made me feel so complimented by her presence. She was like, I don't want to change anything. I love what you've written for me. I was just like, what?
Wow.
Because
She's
she
amazing.
could have easily written it and
Yeah.
and made it just as good of a record. But I felt like that was a huge compliment for me.
For sure.
To have her relate to those lyrics like she did and to convey the same, the message that I was trying to convey. The song is called Show Me. And
Nice.
so she's definitely somebody that I've been paying attention to.
Fantastic.
Tank
I
is
can't
on
wait
the
to hear it.
album,
Well,
as you know.
no question.
So
I was excited to hear you with another song with Tank, because the
Yeah.
Stronger Every Day
yeah,
album,
Stronger Every Day.
you guys did lately.
Yes, we
Now, I
did
remember-
lately.
I remember
Stronger Every Day was the title track for the
That's
album. We
right.
actually sang that together as well.
Now correct me if I'm wrong. Was that album originally called Everyday Struggles?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
We had a song. Me and Just Blaze were working tough back then.
Yeah.
Like we probably had half an album done ourselves, just out of collaborations that we had done.
Yeah.
Because I think there was probably maybe 2 or 3 that we did that never even made the album. That were
That
dope.
album was slept on, bro.
Hey, that was one of my favorite albums.
Yes.
But it was a very hip hop album.
Yeah,
You know, we wanted to flex on some hip hop vibes.
Yeah.
So it was more like less R&B. We did some dance hall almost, you know, with
You had
Beanie Man.
Yeah, you had Dirt on there.
Dirt McGirt,
Yeah.
ODB before he passed.
Scarface was on that album.
Scarface. That's one of my favorite tracks right there. Still
Still to this day.
and big shout out Scarface. I was just with him in Houston, and
Nice.
it's just lovely when you can remain friends with people.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tank. We've remained friends all this time.
Yeah.
Working together is no brainer.
Yeah.
I came to R&B Money Podcast and
Yes.
chopped it up with him
Yeah.
and Tank. And,
I saw that,
you know,
yeah.
and good time. But I played him the single, and I was like, "This is my new single," and he was just like, "Yo, I want to be on that
Come
thing."
on.
And I was like, "Bro, let's go for real." I didn't know if it was just like the moment
Sure.
that he was talking. You know, I was complimented by it anyway, but he literally pulled up on me, came to the studio, let's record it.
And y'all shot a
He
music
played
video?
piano on it. We shot a video for it. I mean, it got taken to another level with him being on the record. I'm so glad that I put him on it because
So let me answer this. That last pass in the song, is
the
that
bridge.
him playing? On that
yes,
bridge?
that's all Tank on the
I
end.
can hear Tank's playing style.
Yes, the piano. He started to just kind of vibe to the song on my upright piano in my studio as the song was playing, and I said we have to record that.
Yeah.
So let's put that down, and you know.
Come on. It's the last little pass. When I listen to that record, I'm like,
I actually
sounds
have
like
a
Tank.
version where it's just our voices and the piano.
Wow.
The whole way through.
I gotta hear that, bro.
So yeah, I'm gonna put that out soon.
Yeah,
And,
gotta hear that.
we actually have a new single about to drop. I believe it's the 7th of May 7th.
May 7th.
It's called Natural Drug, and we've just finished the video for it, featuring the lovely Cynthia Bailey.
Come on.
Is in there,
Okay.
and she is shining,
Nice.
and wonderful visuals to go with that.
I can't wait.
So
to
this
see it.
album's got not only great songs but great videos to go with the songs.
Yeah.
And we sort of directed all the videos ourselves. So we have directors that we work with, but
Sure.
we decide what the video is gonna look like. We do all the styling ourselves. Like it's very much like an independent, self-contained situation.
Yeah, you control the narrative. I love that.
Yeah.
In terms of, so we have a segment called Respect the Pen Game.
Yeah.
So just, going back to your new single, Waiting on You, like take me on, in terms of when you were coming up with that song, it being the lead single, what, like lyrically, like I listened to that first verse, Baby, you worth the wait. How long that take,
However long that you take.
Yeah, so going into that, like tell me how you came up with those lyrics.
You know, in relationships and really in life, you're doing a lot of waiting.
Yes.
A lot of patience is involved.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with a person and they're not exactly being exactly how you want them to be, maybe there's something that's, you want them to be a little more this way or a little more that way.
Yes.
But you're never less there
Right.
with them.
Right.
So, so that has a little bit to do with the inspiration of the song. Just what is it to wait for something that you want? It's worth the wait, right? And it's also it's a pleasure to wait. If that person, when they show up, if it is everything that you wanted, that you said that you wanted, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like always on time, even when it seems like it's late. You know what I mean? And that's what I was saying in the song. It's like if it's someone who's worth the wait, then that's what you're gonna be doing for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? It's waiting on you. Whenever you show up, that's when you show up. But
Whether you're
be good.
Whether you're waiting on them in terms
And
of time or you're serving them in terms of waiting.
exactly. And the thing is, like, that's the thing about it. It doesn't necessarily just apply to marriage.
Sure.
It can apply to relationships
That's
in
right.
general, because you could be with somebody that you're not married with.
That's right.
And still holding them down, and then they keeping you like straight pacing sometimes to see him, because you be like, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's the thing, is I want to speak to that person who's watching the hourglass, you know, the sand fall through and be like, oh, man, when are they gonna call? You know, that kind of energy, you know, because you want to see him that bad.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a fun thing to think about, you know, because I've been married 17 years, but it don't feel like
congratulations,
it. You know what
brother.
I mean? It don't feel like it though, yo.
Yeah.
It still feels like I can write songs like this, and now it comes from a place that's it's so much more refined and real that it's easy for me to say this now.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like anybody who's in my position, you're gonna wait.
That's right.
You know, whether it's waiting to get on the plane to go to the next show, or waiting to go out on stage, you know, to serve the crowd, or waiting, you know, to meet the next group of fans that are at your meet and greet backstage. You know, there's a lot of anticipation and sort of nervous energy, you know, a lot of just fast, nervous energy. So it's really nice to get to settle down and to have those calm moments where it's just you and the one you love.
Yeah.
And you know, you're waiting on those moments.
No, for sure.
So that's really the inspiration behind the record.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you some questions about this. So this is you know, I asked you about who you're listening to, but let's just say this. The 90s R&B, we talked about the time you came up in this, you know, I'm comparing it to a sport, and how the league was just, to me, the league was just better in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take the 90s over the 70s, or in terms of R&B?
Yeah, because Kobe, you know, as far as
in terms of the music,
as far as the
comparison?
music, yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, because I mean, I will say we have the Kobe's and the Shaqs in the 90s. You know what I mean? The 70s, I will say, no, with Marvin Gaye, that's a hard one. You know, because Marvin
like
Gaye,
Kareem.
but Marvin
He's
needed
like Kareem
to be.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah. Marvin is like my absolute number one, right? Favorite.
Yeah.
You know, because you know I love Michael Jackson, I love Stevie Wonder, and I love so many other people.
Yes.
But Marvin had a swag like no other.
Come on.
So Marvin could come out now as an artist and still be.
Yeah.
So that's why I love artists like October London. You asked about new artists that I'm listening to and vibing with. I love that he's keeping that tradition alive.
He's fantastic.
Of singing that style of R&B.
Yeah. I think he's amazing. I have my opinions about October London, and I think he's like, I want him on the show, like, because his voice is out of here.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, are you going to continue doing the Marvin Gaye thing, or?
I think it'll evolve. I think definitely, you know, it's just like me with Babyface in the industry. You know, you show your influence in the beginning, because everyone starts with an influence. Yeah. Everyone starts with an influence, whether you admit it or not. You know, yeah, I mean, you know, look at Justin Timberlake. He wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for me. No, I'm just playing. I'm sorry.
You know what?
I'm sorry, but that new single though is trash, and I'm not feeling his music at all anymore. So like, yeah, so.
Well, that actually leads me to the question.
It is trash though.
I was gonna ask, like, I'm a big fan.
And the video is even more trash.
Come on.
I don't really like that shit. I don't like all this demonic shit, yo. Like you would sell your soul to be popular or something, or to give your allegiance to some hidden powers behind the scenes. Listen, we making R&B music over here. Love music, yo. And I stand in the face of fear and hatred and anger and sadness like an angel of light. Looking at you. I see you.
Come on.
I see you watching.
Come on. I love that. I was actually going to ask the question. You have a number of different artists that was inspired by your style and sound, black and white, and everything in between. And I think about Justin Timberlake. I think about Robin Thicke. I think about Justin Bieber. You know,
the Biebs.
So all of these guys came after you doing R&B music that we all love and respected. We've seen some shifts and some changes. I guess I'm hearing your thoughts on that.
The money shifts and the money changes behind the artist. The corporate. I'm on my Cat Williams right now. You know what I mean? But Cat's my man, so big up Cat Williams.
Yeah.
We actually collaborated together over the last 10 years or
Awesome.
whatever. It's not too long ago.
Love
We
it.
got some dope.
Come on.
But I mean, I just feel like people sell their souls, man, for something. You know what I mean? It's success is not worth it. Like, what's success to you? Success to me is people celebrating my music and dancing to my music, falling in love to my music, making babies to my music.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You can't wait to see somebody and play my music while you see, you know, come on, man. Like that's accolades for me. That's flowers for me.
Yeah.
Is when people come up to me and be like, yo, we raised our kids to enjoy your music. So my 18-year-old son like loves your stuff and
That's right.
you know, whatever. I just, you know, and I'm not trying to steal anybody else's flowers away from them.
Sure.
But I just feel like we got to really acknowledge what's gotten us here. Because it wasn't hate and anger and fear and sadness that got us here. It was the opposite.
That's right.
It was love and grace that got us here. You know what I'm saying? So we got to give props to love and grace, regardless of whether you want to call it Jesus or whether you want to call it Muhammad or whether you want to call it,
Sure.
you know, whatever you want to call it, Yahshua, whatever the names are that we can call God.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like, you know, really the acknowledgement of the fact that we have this privilege
Yes.
to be here and sing for y'all, it's a responsibility to keep it on the level, not for the ones that are old enough to know the difference, for the ones that aren't old enough
That's
to
right.
know the difference.
That's right.
That's who you gotta make your video for, you know what I mean? My 10-year-old is watching.
That's right.
So, you know, Justin Timberlake, my 10-year-old is watching your Trolls movie too, you know what I'm saying? So, and she loves it, by the way, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
Dance, Dance, Dance song, you know what I mean? And other songs that are dope that you've done.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, no, for real, it's like we have a responsibility, so hold your responsibility. And if it's, you know, if this is all just cap right now, then, you know, it's like I'm sitting here looking like an asshole. But if this is coming from a real place, I'm putting myself out there to look like an asshole for a real reason.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's not enough people speaking up about what's going on in the world, how we trading identities for something that's behind the scenes, because I don't see nobody getting no extra props for being all evil and demonic and shit like
Not
that.
at all.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
I gotta see where the bank. We don't see the bank account though, how
Yeah.
it goes up, and then
Yeah.
so you know, like I said, money transfers and travels, and you know, people do deals and all kinds of stuff like that to get different kinds of status quos.
Yes.
I've never been that guy.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to work with my heroes. I wanted to collaborate with my guys, and I'm still doing it.
No doubt.
You know,
When is the new album dropping?
new album is dropping June 7th.
Okay.
I'm looking to wifey because I'm just like, listen, she is the one who
She
runs
runs
it
the
all.
show.
She runs it, man.
I love it.
She does, and she does an amazing job. Because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even be doing this right now.
Wow.
I wouldn't even be putting a record out. I wouldn't even probably be on the road doing it. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? I'd probably be somewhere just thinking about all the people that did me wrong and all the
Yeah.
things. The industry sucks and blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
you know? But you got to pick it up. And like the Aaliyah song says, you know, first you don't succeed.
Yeah.
Dust yourself off and
Try
try
again.
again, you
Yeah.
know? That's what she did for me, man. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, let me know, like, you got this, so continue to go. If no one's in your corner, I am. So
Yeah.
that's why she'll always get props
I
from me
love
in,
that. I love
in
that.
any interview, you know?
Yeah.
Real
I
talk.
wanted to ask you, do you still love it?
You know, I love it so much that, you know, I'm on stage singing my heart out for every crowd.
Yes.
You know, and the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
You got to come to one of my shows to see if I still love it.
Yeah.
This album is also because I still love it.
Yes.
You know, because there's no outdoing your old hits, and there's no outdoing your old, you know, your old catalog. So it's more like, what do you do it for now? Well, you do it because you love it.
That's right.
And that's a great question, because that's sort of like the only reason why I do it.
Yeah.
Because this industry has turned into something that is so hard to understand,
Sure.
even what we're even a part of,
That's right.
that my patience is challenged every year by something else and says, do I even want to be, affiliated with this at all?
Yeah.
And I think it's the love for the fans, the love of the fans, and the love for the fans.
I noticed
and
a lot of
our relationship that we have on the tours, like every
Right.
tour, that strengthens my want to continue to do this. So,
Yeah.
and the fact that I'm always on the road doing a show somewhere, it's
That's-
like my
that's where
batteries
it
are
counts.
charged.
That's
man.
where it counts,
Yeah, my
for sure.
batteries are charged. You know what I mean? So I love what I do. I really do.
It's a lot of artists I noticed, like from the '90s area, even from a little bit after the 2000s, whatever, that's had a lot of success, like yourself, that are selling their publishing now, or doing these pub deals or whatever. Have you considered that? Is that something that's been on the table for you?
Never. That's my babies. That belongs to my daughters and my wife. It's like that's my legacy, but at the same time, that's like their livelihood and our livelihood as a family. So it's like that belongs to nobody but them.
Yeah.
And that's why I work hard. That's why I work hard is for them. And it's not just to live a life of glitz and glam for myself. I mean, I'm a rock star on the weekends. Don't get it wrong. We pop bottles and we have fun.
That's right.
But I still come home and I'm still a dad, and I'm still like a guy with a sense of his family.
That's
and
right.
a sense of where I belong, where I don't belong. You know what I mean? Because I've been in some dark situations in my past. I'm not going to say that I've always been clean around the collar all the time. There's been some ugly times in my life.
Sure.
Where I got real sad, real depressed, and everything. But I think you got to understand that darkness in order to come out to the light and to really understand what the light is and how important it is to have it in your life.
Yeah.
And appreciate it. Appreciate the light in your life. It's not hard to love, man.
No.
It's actually harder and takes more effort to hate.
Yeah.
Than it is to love. To love is just, I think it's innate in our nature to love. So I feel like the more you let yourself love, and that's what R&B music is about.
Yeah.
Is about conveying love, like rekindling love, like reconciling with love. Let's get back to love again. You know what I mean? Now, there's levels of love.
For sure.
Some might be down here, maybe up here,
That's right.
whatever. But
That's
it's
right.
all part of the love thing.
That's right.
So yeah.
Sometimes a little chastisement need to happen.
That's it. You
know
know,
what I mean?
and sometimes I need to rub you the wrong way for you to understand that, like, it's just it's tough love up in here.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's been like that for me. I didn't get. Nobody's, oh, but if you just do it like this, John, no. They're like, man, that shit whack.
Right.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I'll do it different next time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
John, bro, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here, man. I just
Pleasure's mine, bro.
As one of your biggest fans, as you know, I've been in your DMs. So big shout out
man.
to Brian Alexander Morgan, the
Oh,
homie.
yeah.
He made the
Man.
assist.
Yo.
You know what I mean? So have you guys done some work together?
He's a legend, man, in
Legend,
my book,
for
man.
sure.
I mean, absolutely one of the greatest writers in our game.
Man.
I mean, Rain is one of my all-time, but then again, I mean, there's so many others. So it's like, man, you know what's such a trip? My daughters sing his music like it's
Like
my
it just
music.
comes out?
Like they own
Yeah.
that music. The SWV is their group, you know.
Wow.
They're 16 and 10.
Yeah.
And just to have them be the age that they are, relate to that music
Yeah.
in this really the same way we did when it first came out.
For sure.
We all love that. So
Look, while
big
I'm
up
out here in
Brian
LA, I said, yo,
Alexander,
Bam, I'm coming to the studio. He said, man, come on, Dad.
Brian Alexander Morgan, man.
Yeah, that's
He's
what's
the
up, man.
man.
Thank you for
Yeah.
coming.
Thank you.
Look, guys, this has been a special treat for us. So, listen, I'm just super, super excited. Season 2 is underway. We have none other than the legendary Jon B in the building. Bless up. That's continued.
Bless
This is a
up, King.
continued conversation. So, look, I always ask the same question. Can we talk R&B? Peace.
Can